Hello, today we're going to be talking about the relationship between dietary patterns and risk of depression. My name is Amy Sherman. I'm a senior at LSU studying nutrition and dietetics.
Hi, my name is Sierra Scott, and I'm studying dietetics.
Hi, my name is Savannah Collins, and I'm a senior at LSU, and I'm nutrition pre-med.
Hi, my name is Peyton Mercola, and I'm a senior dietetics student at LSU.
Hi, my name is Alasia Narcisse, and I'm a senior at LSU studying food and nutrition.
Today, we will begin discussing a little bit about depression. Depression is defined as having a constant feeling of sadness and loss of interest in everyday tasks and routines. There is no known cause of depression, but it does come in many different forms. Depression can be caused by traumatic life events, learned patterns of negative thinking, or genetics. Depression is usually associated with high levels of anxiety and stress. Depression in teens is not medically different from that in adults, but there are differences in how it develops. Teens face different social and developmental challenges than adults, such as peer pressure, developing bodies, and rapidly changing hormones. Having depression and lack of motivation can affect many areas of a teen's life, such as grades in school, attitudes towards work, involvements in social and family life, and of course, how the individual feels, behaves, and thinks about themselves when they are away from other people. Symptoms of depression are pretty common in teens. A 2017 report found that over 3.2 million American teens have had at least one symptom of depression, which translates to 13.3% of all American teens. Depression is not the same thing as boredom or disinterest, which many teens can experience. Since both are common in teens, symptoms of depression can be difficult to spot. Some symptoms of teen depression include appearing sad or irritable, fluctuations in weight or appetite, a decrease in energy, feelings of guilt or worthlessness, changes in sleep habits, and withdrawing from friends or activities the individual usually finds enjoyable. Many of these symptoms can be typically found in a developing teen, but it's still a good idea to keep an eye out for yourself and the ones around you. Depression is a serious medical condition that can be treated with medication, but today we will discuss other ways to improve overall mood and quality of life.
So, many studies that we looked at showed that a balanced diet can reduce the risks of depression and anxiety in adolescents. This means that variety in your diet is important in the prevention of depression and anxiety. Eating a diet higher in whole foods can lower odds of depression, while eating a diet high in processed foods can increase odds of depression. Whole ingredients can be seen on this slide and include things like fresh produce, meats, fish, eggs, etc., while processed foods include things like snack chips and fast food options. One study we looked at showed that individuals who ate an Americanized diet had a higher risk for depression than those who ate more balanced diets. Americanized diets are those high in sodium, fat, and sugar intake, and typically consist of large portions and lots of processed foods. Another study showed that a Mediterranean diet can reduce risks of depression in people with type 2 diabetes. A Mediterranean diet is one high in vegetables, fruits, whole grains, beans, nuts, seeds, and olive oil, a lot like many of the whole foods you can see on this image. We also see an improvement in anger, confusion, depression, fatigue, tension, and vigor as sodium intake decreases. It's important to be conscious of the salt in the snacks we eat, the salt in the foods that we're cooking, and the salt we add to our food once we're at the table. The final study we looked at showed that red meat consumption and an increased fruit intake was associated with a decrease in confusion as well. Overall, we can see that eating a balanced diet high in variety of whole ingredients can improve mental health. Now we'll talk about how you can improve your own diet variety.
To improve your diet, you can use MyPlate as an everyday tool. MyPlate is an easy to follow food guide to create balanced meals. MyPlate promotes variety because the healthiest meals are made up of different food groups. Your meal should consist of fruits, vegetables, protein, grains, and dairy. Half of your plate should be fruits and vegetables, and at least half of your grains you eat should be whole grains. Your instructor will now hand out a blank MyPlate template so that you can fill it in with foods that make you feel happy and healthy as we dig deeper into MyPlate. Grains are an important part of MyPlate because they provide key nutrients, vitamins, minerals, and dietary fiber. Iron is a key mineral consumed from grains that helps carry oxygen in the blood. In addition, dietary fiber helps by supporting bowel movements. Vitamins such as B vitamins are important in maintaining a healthy nervous system and metabolism. As I previously mentioned, at least half of the grains on your plate should be whole grains because whole grains are not processed and contain all their original contents. The daily consumption recommendations for ages 9 to 13 is 5 to 9 ounces for boys and 5 to 7 ounces for girls. For the age group 14 to 18, the recommendation is 6 to 10 ounces for boys and 6 to 8 ounces for girls. Some examples of one serving size or ounce of grains include 1 slice of whole wheat bread, a half a cup of brown rice, a half a cup of oatmeal, and a half a cup of wheat or enriched pasta. Now you can fill out the grains portion of your MyPlate with your favorite grains. Next on the plate, we have protein. Protein is all foods made from seafoods, meat, poultry, and eggs, beans, peas, and lentils, nuts, and seeds. Protein functions as building blocks for bones, muscles, cartilage, skin, and blood. Protein is also a major nutrient that provides calories and nutrients such as B vitamins, zinc, iron, vitamin E, and fiber. When selecting protein, meat, and poultry choices should be low fat. Examples of one serving of protein include 1 ounce of meat, poultry or fish, 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, and a half an ounce of nuts or seeds. The daily consumption recommendations for the age group 3 to 18 is 0.9 grams per kilogram for boys and 0.8 grams per kilograms for girls. Now you can fill out your MyPlate with protein that makes you feel healthy and strong.
The next food group we will discuss is the dairy group. It is important to include foods from the dairy group into your diet because of many health benefits that it provides. Dairy helps to maintain and build strong bones and teeth, prevent osteoporosis, support the role of gut health and overall health and well-being, and plays a role in helping maintain a healthy diet and reducing the risk of serious diseases. Some common examples of dairy includes milk, yogurt, cheese, lactose-free milk, and fortified soy milk. The daily recommendation for girls and boys aged 9 to 18 years old is 3 cups of dairy a day. The nutrients that are obtained through consuming dairy foods consist of calcium, phosphorus, vitamin A, vitamin D, riboflavin, vitamin B12, protein, potassium, zinc, choline, magnesium, and selenium. Now, looking at your plate worksheet, pick out your favorite dairy food and fill out the blue dairy section. The next food group is fruit. Fruit is important to include in your diet because it provides essential nutrients needed for everyday life, such as potassium, dietary fiber, vitamin C, and folate. Fruits are naturally found to have high amounts of dietary fiber in them, which helps to support an overall healthy diet, reduce blood cholesterol levels, and lowers the risk of heart disease. The daily recommendation for fruit consumption varies for age and gender. For boys aged 9 to 13 years, 1.5 to 2 cups is recommended. For boys aged 14 to 18 years old, 2 to 2.5 cups is recommended. For girls aged 9 to 18 years old, 1.5 to 2 cups is the recommended amount. Some examples of fruit that count as an equivalency to 1 cup include 1 small apple, 1 large banana, 1 cup of grapes, 1 large orange, 8 large strawberries, or 1 cup of 100% fruit juice. Now fill out the red fruit section on your My Plate worksheet with a fruit of your choice. Vegetables can provide your body with energy, help prevent chronic disease, and provide essential vitamins and nutrients, which is why it is important to include them in your diet. The nutrients that the body can obtain through the consumption of vegetables includes potassium, fiber, folate, vitamin A, and vitamin C. The daily recommendation for vegetable consumption includes 2 to 3.5 cups daily for boys aged 9 to 13 years old and 2.5 to 4 cups daily for boys aged 14 to 18 years. For girls aged 9 to 13 years old, it is recommended to consume 1.5 to 3 cups, and for girls aged 14 to 18 years old, 2.5 to 3 cups is the daily recommended amount. Some common examples of vegetables that you may have already thought of about include broccoli, spinach, green peas, cauliflower, lima beans, green beans, and corn. Think of your favorite vegetable and fill it in the green vegetable section on your plate.
Now we will discuss how physical activity improves your mental health. Regular moderate to vigorous exercise can improve depression and anxiety symptoms. This is because exercise increases endorphins and serotonin levels. I am sure you're wondering, what are endorphins and serotonin? Endorphins are a chemical our brain releases that produces the feelings of happiness. Serotonin is a mood stabilizer and regulates sleeping and eating patterns. Stress levels decrease when physical activity is part of one's routine. A boost of self-esteem and confidence also comes along with regular exercising. The CDC recommends children and adolescents aged 6 to 17 years old should participate in 60 minutes or more of physical activity every day. In those 60 minutes, it should include aerobic activity and bone strengthening and muscle activities should be in there as well. Aerobic exercises are things like walking, jump roping, or any activity that gets your heart beat up. Activities that strengthen bones should be done 3 times a week. These include jumping and running. Activities that build muscle should also be done 3 times a week. Some examples of this kind of exercise are push-ups, climbing, and playing in a jungle gym. These activities should be fun and enjoyable to you. We want to thank you all for watching and listening to this presentation. We hope you learned something new about nutrition today that you can apply to your everyday life. Teacher, please hand out the 3-question quiz now and give 5 minutes to complete. Students, this quiz will test you on the main takeaways from this presentation.